Aksi 25 Agustus kali ini tak hanya menyoroti nasib rakyat kecil. Ribuan demonstran meneriakan tuntutan besar, di antaranya pembubaran DPR RI hingga penolakan kenaikan gaji dan tunjangan anggota DPR. Poster dan spanduk yang dibentangkan di sepanjang pagar gedung DPR berisi kritikan tajam, menyebut wakil rakyat lebih sibuk memperjuangkan kepentingan pribadi ketimbang kesejahteraan rakyat. Di tengah lautan massa, tampak sejumlah pengemudi ojek online yang ikut bersuara. Bagi mereka, kehadiran di Senayan bukan sekedar ikut-ikutan, melainkan sebuah jeritan hati yang sudah lama terpendam. Ari, seorang pengemudi ojol asal Jakarta Timur, mengaku kecewa dengan langkah DPR yang menurutnya jauh dari kepentingan rakyat kecil. Ia menegaskan DPR seharusnya fokus mencari solusi untuk tekanan ekonomi rakyat, bukan malah menaikkan gaji dan tunjangan di tengah situasi serba sulit. Sejak pagi, ribuan orang dari berbagai kalangan mulai memadati kawasan gedung DPR RI Jalan Gatot Subroto, Jakarta Pusat. Massa mengibarkan bendera merah putih, membawa poster bernada kritik hingga mengangkat bendera bergambar tengkorak dengan topi jerami khas serial One Piece. Poster bertuliskan "Bubarkan DPR, beban negara" menjadi simbol utama penolakan mereka terhadap kinerja lembaga legislatif. Awalnya unjuk rasa berlangsung cukup tertib, namun suasana berubah saat bentrokan terjadi antara massa dan polisi ketika rombongan pelajar tiba di lokasi namun dihadang aparat di flyover Ladoki. Massa yang sudah lebih dulu berada di depan DPR bergerak mundur untuk menjemput para pelajar tersebut. Situasi kian tegang setelah beredar kabar bahwa sejumlah pelajar ditahan aparat. Informasi ini membuat gelombang aksi semakin sulit dikendalikan.
Hi everyone, welcome back to podcast The Diary of Politics with me, Nova. And today we are discussing a very hot topic. What is that? Yes, dissolving the parliament's people dream or democracy in crisis. Many citizens are frustrated with the performance of parliament, and some are even calling for it to be dissolved. But is that really a solution, or would it push democracy backwards? Yeah, to help us dig into this, we have three amazing guests. First, Pinkan, a scholarship student from a lower middle class background. Mayang, a popular influencer who often speaks out about social issues. And the last one, Ina, a member of parliament who is here to clarify and respond to public concern. Let's start by getting to know our guests. Hi Pinkan, could you tell us a bit about what you study and what it's like being a scholarship student representing young people from modest families?
actually studying science of laws, and I was fortunate to get a full scholarship. That's all based on my academic curriculum. Coming from a lower middle class family, I have seen how government discussion directly affect us. That's why today's topic feels really personal.
Wow, that's inspiring, Pinkan. It's so important to hear from young people who are directly impacted by policies. Next up, hi Mayang. You have quite a big online following. Wow. Do your followers talk to you about political issues like this?
Hi, yes, most of my content is lifestyle and social commentary. But when major political issue trend, my followers always want my opinion. Actually, I've been offered a lot of money to become a so-called peace buzzer. Basically, to post calming message so people stop criticizing the government.
Wow, that's something we definitely to talk about later, right? And finally, hi Ina.
Hi.
Thank you for being here. Could you share a little about your role and how long you've been in Parliament?
Thank you for having me. I've been serving in Parliament for 5 years. And I am happy to be here to explain what Parliament is doing to hear public concern directly.
Okay, Pinkan, as a student, what do you think people actually want from Parliament right now?
I think what people really want is not chaos, but real, meaningful change. That's why many student groups have published what we call the 70+8 demands instead of just shouting dissolve parliament that are asking for specific reforms.
Could you give us some example of those demands?
Sure, for example, more transparency in the law-making process, protection of freedom of speech, so criticism is just criminalized, stronger anti-corruption measure, and guarantee that education and public service budget are not cut.
Okay, so do you think calls to dissolve Parliament are a real solution or just an emotional reaction?
Honestly, those calls mostly come from deep frustration, and that's understandable. But without a clear plan, dissolve Parliament will actually create more chaos. That really solution is meaningful reform. Clear election, recall mechanisms for underperforming representative and stronger public oversight.
Okay, and if students want to hold Parliament accountable without just protesting in the street, what can they do?
Protests are important, but they are not only ways students can build data-driven advocacy moment to monitor MPS performance, use social media to speed fact-based information, collaborate with civil society, organization to push for reforms, even file education review in the constitutional court when laws are unjust.
Okay, we next to Mayang. Mayang, you see a lot of these debates go viral online. How do you feel when you see hashtag calling for Parliament to be dissolved?
To be honest, I worry about it. If Parliament is dissolved without a clear plan, the country could face a legislative paralysis. I think we need reform, not just dissolution.
Okay, you mentioned earlier that you were offered money to be a peace buzzer. How did you feel about that?
It was mixed feelings. One hand, it's flattering to be trusted to send an important message, but on the other, I value my integrity. If the government pays influencer just to silence criticism, we have to be careful because that can be dangerous if the message isn't factual.
Do you think it's ethical for influencer to be paid to shape public opinion?
If the information is factual and transparent, I think it can be acceptable. But if it's just to shoot people up, then it's not ethical.
Okay, but How do you make sure your content spark healthy conversation instead of just adding noise?
I will always check that what I post is backed by credible sources. I avoid overly emotional or misleading content, and I ensure my followers to think critically, ask questions, and discuss respectful.
Okay, in your view, do online hashtag movements actually influence government decision?
Yes, but not instantly. It needs to be supported by real action and public pressure. Even an issue goes viral and a lot of people speak out, Parliament and the government usually can ignore it.
Okay, Ina and Mayang just shared that she was over money to become a peace buzzer. Does Parliament use strategies like that, Ina?
Strategies like that do exist, but often not official from Parliament. If it is official, it should be transparent like through trash public campaigns, otherwise and risks damaging public trust.
Okay, how do you personally feel when you hear young people calling to be dissolve Parliament?
I completely understand their frustration, but dissolving Parliament is not a solution. The country needs a legislative body to make law. What really matters is making the system so it becomes more transparent and accountable.
People often complain that Parliament doesn't listen to them. How does Parliament currently gather public input?
There are channels such as public sharing, MPs visiting their constituency and constitution on draft laws. But yes, they need to be more accessible, maybe through faster, user-friendly digital platforms.
If dissolving Parliament isn't the answer, what reforms are most urgent to rebuild public trust?
I did say three things. One, transportation in Parliament is work. And two, easier access for the public to share input. And three, strict sanction for members who break assist or reclaim corruption.
Okay, that was such a rich discussion. Before we wrap up, let's summarize today's key points. First, the call to dissolve Parliament comes from public frustration. But meaningful reform is the real solution. And second, students and citizens can play a role by using data, collaborating with civil society, and leveraging social media responsibility. And third, influencers have a responsibility to share factual, balanced content and encourage constructive conversation. And fourth, Parliament must work on transparency, open public participation, and enforcing sanctions to regain trust. So, to our listener, instead of just venting online, let's all stay engaged, stay informed, and hold representatives accountable. Real change starts with participation. Okay, big thanks to Pinkan, Mayang, and Ina for joining us today. We hope this conversation inspired you to think critically and take part in building a better democracy. See you next time on The Diary of Politics. Stay critical, stay hopeful. Podcast The Diary of Politics. Our guest. Hai Pinkan, hai Pinkan, hai Pinkan, hai Pinkan. Ulang dong. Hai.
I think what people really want is not chaos, but real, meaningful change. That's why many student groups have published what we call
And take part in building a better democracy. See you next time on The Diary of Politics. Stay critical, stay hopeful.
Ina, Mayang, Ina. Ya udah ya guys.
Mayang.